All right, there's something we're going to have to watch very, very closely when it comes to Shiba Inu, because when we see this take place, it usually means that we have a little bit of downside ahead. We are seeing some red today, so it's a question of, obviously, will this turn into something bigger, or is this just a little bit of a fake out here? We'll discuss that in this video. I want to talk about a couple comments here as well from viewers. So if you guys are new or haven't already, show your support for the channel down below. Hit that subscribe button, that bell. It's free to do. It'll keep you updated anytime there's new content live here on the channel. So just like yesterday, SHIB kind of remains stuck in this range, this descending triangle, like we were talking about. And again, we did have actually a test and a breach above this local trend that we were in on today's daily candle. But right now at about 6:24 a.m. Central Standard Time, we are seeing red. SHIB is down about 2.89%. The market is trying to decide what it wants to do today. BTC is trying to decide, does it want to hold around 105K? Does it want to come down and retest down around 102 here? What I will say is it seems that when we've been getting these BTC retracements, as long as they're not very abrupt and surprising, SHIB continues to stick around trend. So that's at least a promising thing. But the thing that we have to watch very closely here is we did in fact get a bearish cross on daily stochastic RSI. Now, for those that haven't paid attention before, when we do get these bearish crosses, they're usually an indication or a confirmation of some downside. For example, take a look back here, late October, we saw that. Last time we crossed before that was all the way back here in early October. We obviously did have, excuse me, a few green days after that, but then an extended drop below it. This isn't always the case. I'm not trying to scare people or anything like that, because we have had times too where we get this bearish cross like we did back here, and the market just decides to rip and run. And at least right now, from a sentiment standpoint, we're still kind of trash. We are seeing a little bit more positivity in the market. We do have some things that can cause some excitement. Government shutdown ending, rate cuts, QE starting, right? There's all these things that can create a very positive narrative that can kind of take over the crypto market and move it. But, you know, understand that for the meantime, we will have ups and downs. There will be days of red, and today is obviously one of those. So I'm hoping that we stay within structure here. Again, it's kind of like we talked about. We may end up running towards the point of this trend, but we'll have to watch and wait and see what happens. BTC dominance right now, floating right around 60%. It seems to be a range it's very, very comfortable at right now after our bottom test here and actually slight breach to the downside yesterday. So we're just, again, we're kind of stuck waiting and waiting and waiting. Now, again, big things that people need to be aware of, like I mentioned yesterday, conclusion of the government shutdown may still be this week. The House is going to have to vote on that. It sounds like it, again, is either going to be tomorrow or Thursday. So we'll have to watch and wait and see what happens there. But there are a couple comments here that I do want to talk about. Let's talk about this one first of all. This is, oops, I don't know if that popped up. There we go. This is from Keith Molbeck. Appreciate the comment. Keith, he said, what happened to the parabolic stage for all crypto? Who effed it up? It's not so much that anyone effed it up. It's just that retail has not returned to the space. New retail has not returned to the market. So what we've seen during this time, and if you missed my ADA video the other day, we talked about this. We have seen basically that we have never left the bear market cycle. So if we do the total 3 minus USDT chart, and we look at this on the monthly standpoint, look at where we're at. Whoa, why is this so goofy? This is not right. This is not the right chart. Total 3 minus USDT. I'm sorry. This is the right chart. I'm looking at this on the wrong time frame. There we go. So if we look at this, we haven't really had an expansion from all the way at the height of the last market cycle. So what we've really witnessed in this cycle alone is capital kind of dilute itself. And I know some people say, oh yeah, there's way too many coins. It's not necessarily that. There is more coins, and yes, people are looking for more opportunity in the space, but the big problem is we haven't had new retail. So people who have been burned by coins or bought at the wrong time are less likely to come back to assets, and that's why many coins here in 2025, they haven't even set new highs from 2024 or haven't set new highs from the prior market cycle. It's not the case for all of them. Obviously, Shiba Inu fits that narrative where it hasn't set a new all-time high yet. It hasn't passed the 2024 high yet. So we're obviously just kind of kind of stuck waiting, unfortunately, until new retail enters the space or we get the right capital rotation and liquidation event. And that kind of sucks, but that's the reality of it. That's kind of where we're at right now. It's more so that the market cycle has somewhat changed per se. And again, if you guys haven't followed me or some of my other videos, I've talked about this cycle going into 2026. It's more like a business cycle now instead of the 4-year cycle. Now, here's another comment that I want to actually talk about as well. This is from friendly neighborhood bear GW Fonte. Said Shiba Inu is fading away. It's effing obvious. And here's what I will say is you have to ask yourself these questions, right? Are holders declining? No. Are whale holdings declining? No. Is exchange supply rising? No, it's not. Is volume falling away to nothing? No, it's not. It's been very consistent actually throughout most of 2025. So this narrative that SHIB is fading away because price has been dropping is complete BS. And you can look at this for a lot of other assets in the crypto space. 2025 has been a pretty rough year for altcoins. Like I said, it's been kind of like a bear market year. Yes, there have been some rises, but the sentiment and the news has been such garbage this year that has just kind of suppressed everything. It doesn't mean that asset like SHIB or other assets are fading away. I have some other coins that are big AI projects that are way down from the highs of last year, like down 90%. And we're talking about, multi-billion-dollar coins, or at least they were multi-billion-dollar coins. I'm not even sure where they're at right now because I don't check that often. But the point I'm trying to make is just because projects are down doesn't mean they're fading away. It just means we're kind of in an uncertain time in crypto. And again, if you take a look at the fear greed index, where are we sitting? Oh, yeah, in a fearful range where we spent a lot of 2025. So that's my response to that. Again, I want to remind everybody, price is always the lagging metric. It's always the last thing to move. I remember back here in 2024, 2023, when people were saying SHIB was dead, it was fading away, and nothing was going to happen. And then out of nowhere, it shot up and did a 4.5x in 7 days. We're at that point in crypto where we have seen such major conviction, and we've really just been drugged down by leverage per se here in 2025, but we have had such long-minded people accumulate major portions of supply. It's very hard to keep moving things down. It's like we've talked about. Sellers are very much exhausted. Doesn't mean you can't go lower because again, leverage is still present in the market. But you're going to eventually come to a point where there's all these people that are stuck sideline that end up having to chase assets. Won't be the first time we've seen it. Won't be the last time. But that is when we can start to see some pushes towards some levels that we were seeing maybe not that long ago. So I appreciate you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know your thoughts below. But have a great day. Catch you guys in the next one. Take care.